this. How about that for a great performance?
Jake, the prototype Collier. Knockout, Marlon Chito Vera.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered.
Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier.
I'm made for a fucking podcast. We're dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it.
And a 5, and a 4, and a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Welcome to UFC Unfiltered. I'm still a fat, unshaven disaster. Hi, Matt. Good to see you, buddy.
Well, I mean, Jimmy, that's up to you. I mean, you could change that. You really, I mean, one, you could shave
Yes,
if
I
you
could.
wanted to. Unless it's a look. See this? This is not me being lazy. There was another guy in Dunkin' Donuts, this old guy complaining about the president, and he looks at me afterwards. He goes, "You need a shave." Like, what the fuck? This is. I go. No, this is a look. I go. I make up for my no hair on top. And then he's like, "Oh," I go, "Okay, you like me now. Go back to complaining about the president." I don't.
No, I'll tell you why. I'm doing. I'm taping Chip later.
Okay.
And I also have to dye my hair and shave to do Doug Bell. I'm been a little negligent taping Doug Bell casts, so I have to tape a few of them in the next couple of days. So I'm gonna have to dye my hair and then shave, but I need to look gross as possible when I do Doug. You know, so I have to look really.
Now, what happened to another gentleman that I met recently?
Who's that?
You have another character I heard that not Doug. It's not a comic. There was another guy. Who the fuck else you got? Not
Edgar Craig Schinkel. I don't know.
There you go. I mean, there's two right there.
Yeah. They're all hated. But so yeah, that's why I look disgusting. We have Jake Collier. I believe this is Jake's first time on the show. Heavyweight. He had a great win over Chase Sherman. Yep, his first appearance. And Chito Vera is returning. He hasn't been on. Since maybe 8 months, almost a year, 10 months. Fighting Rob Font on Saturday the 30th. God, that's a good fight. Font versus Vera. I can't believe April's almost over, buddy. That's this Saturday that they're fighting.
Listen, man. Time's going fast, bro. I told you my wife has another kickboxing match.
No, you didn't say that.
Yeah, I'll give you the details later. Yeah, she's got an amateur kickboxing match. It's going to be in Brooklyn.
That's awesome.
You know, my wife's 38. She has no wear and tear on her.
Right.
You know, besides what I do. I'm only kidding. But you know, she's a fucking animal. But people like, she's 38. You know, sometimes girls or guys, they like to do things like do a marathon or they do a tough mudder. But no, she wants to fight. So we're a fighting family, man. I had my whole family there last night. Wife's doing the fucking mid work. I'm doing a one-on-one with my oldest. Go on my Instagram. You see my oldest doing a nice arm lock. Jimmy, I swear to God. Oh shit! Guess who's visiting today in Long Island? Don't guess. You'll never get it. Who's my only other friend besides you and Long Island?
Henzo.
He's like family though.
Oh, okay. Let me think.
I shouldn't have said an acquaintance.
It's an acquaintance. Wonder Boy.
No, it's Dean Thomas and Meatball McCann.
Oh,
Molly
okay.
Meatball McCann. Huh?
Hi. Now, Dean is staying in Long Island, or is he staying in the city?
Yeah, he's in the city. I saw him. He's hitting mitts with Meatball Maloney in the park. Not Maloney, Meatball McCann.
Yeah.
And I like Meatball. From a fellow Meatball, I like Meatball. So, we're going to be hanging out tonight. They're going to go, look, he's asking what train to get. I go, look, I'll tell you to train, and then you meet me down at Huntington. I'm going to be training. I'm meeting my black belts, Abe and Pat. I'll be sweaty. And then we'll hang out, man. Maybe go to Umberto's afterwards.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Who knows, man? We like to have fun.
Wish I was invited.
Yeah, man. But anyway, listen, Jimmy.
That's going to be fun. Couple of chums.
Jimmy, not to be weird again.
Having a good time. I'm not invited.
I watched more than once of yours. And this is what I want you to do, because you don't like the thing. I want you to tell me to watch. I want you to point me in the right direction to watch more clips of like this, because I watched this one probably 5 times.
Okay, Chip.
No.
Okay.
I've never watched Chip. I watch Chip enough to know when it's Chip, and then I flick it. But listen, but people love him. It's not for everybody.
Sure.
But listen to me, Jimmy. I watch when you roast your friend Rich Vos. I watched that.
Oh yeah.
Only because you fucking murdered everybody in the room like you had a Tommy gun, and it was fucking great. And Bobby Kelly did great too on that.
Yeah, that was
funny.
Very fun show. DeRosa was funny. Big Jay Okerson, Bonnie, Jim Florentine, of course, Lewis. That was a really fun roast, man. Because everybody on that panel were friends. Anthony was great. Everyone there is friends and can take a joke. So everybody was just fucking horrible to each other.
If people want to look up the roast of Rich Vos.
Rich Vos roast. Yeah, it's Vos roast.
You know what I really was I admired it. I was shocked how quick you could do that. Bonnie, what's her name?
Bonnie McFarlane, that's Rich's wife.
Yes, she was the roast master or whatever.
Yeah.
So she said something about, oh, listening to your radio show, I'd rather hear my kid drowning. You heard that, and all of a sudden I see you fucking twitch and you start writing shit down. When you went up there and you're like, hey, if you want to hear your daughter drowning, just have your husband, just have her, wait. And it was so good. I don't know how you don't fuck up with the line with this. And you're like, have her stand under your husband as he speaks.
Yeah, he's going for drooling.
How did you come up with that off the fly like that? How did you have the wording so down? So did you have the joke when she first said that something sparked in your head? How did you know to set that up the way you did? And it was so clean.
I don't know, honestly. It's one of those things that when you're looking for it, like when you hear a joke, it's like all these kind of ideas, they just float in front of you really quickly. Like she said, drowning. So drowning's wet. Like it's just drowning. Okay, drowning is the thing of that I'm going to go off of. You just kind of make it. It's almost like, I'm sure if you fight, like it's more of a reaction than it is something you're thinking through.
But the setup was, it's as if it was written months ago. It wasn't any like, because what I saw it, I rewound it like fucking 3 times and I thought it was funny, and I still can't get the wording out. You made the wording as if it was a written joke. And you also did the same thing about Marlon Brando's fucking wake with fucking Bobby Kelly. I know, Jimmy, I'm no comedian, but I appreciate.
Oh, thank you, man.
Just like you with the fighting, I appreciate the wit and the timing of these fucking jokes, Jimmy. That's why you're doing what you do. It's so wild.
Thanks, buddy.
Now I blew up your head. Now we got Jake.
No, it makes me feel nice. It was, but that was a very fun night. We did that at the Village Underground, and Jake Collier's popping in. That was a lot of fun. It's always better. Roasts have become very, very televised and very celebrity oriented, but it's always better when it's just you and your friends, your guys who like each other, just shitting on each other. That's the best.
So much fun, Jimmy. So much fun. I want everybody to watch that and tell me.
Well, thank you. Yeah, VosRoast.com. How are you, man?
Doing good. Good.
What's up, Jake? Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to get to come on the show.
Congrats. You're the co-main, you and Arlovski, correct? For this Saturday?
Yeah.
And that last win over Chase Sherman was because he's got a great punching power too. And watching you guys trade shots, it was pretty obvious early on that it wasn't going to make it out of the first round. And really, well done, man. He's not an easy guy to submit, and that was really beautiful.
Thank you.
You started at middleweight, correct? Or did you go down to middleweight at one point? I'm amazed that you fight so well at heavyweight when you were at one point in middleweight.
Yeah, I was a middleweight, and as I got a little bit older, man, it just got harder and harder to make that weight cut. And I just was literally like to the point where like I'm either quitting fighting or I'm moving up a weight class. I moved up a couple weight classes.
Well, that's shit, man. Well, you hold the weight well. Do you feel a big difference? Not depleted or anything when you fight?
Oh yeah, I absolutely feel like way better. Like I feel so much healthier. I feel like I can take punches, a lot better just because I'm not so dehydrated.
And that's I'm sorry, Jimmy, but not even one weight class too. What happens when you went up to one weight class? You're like, this is a little better, but I like some hot pockets. No, I'm only kidding. No, what'd you say? You wanted a little bit more?
No, actually, I had elbow surgery and I was out forever, and I was kind of sitting on the sidelines, and I just got huge, and they called me and they're like, "Hey, we want you to fight," and it was like 2 weeks, and I was like, "Whoa, we got a problem. I'm a little more than heavy," and then I told them I was like, "I'll fight a fight at heavyweight," and then I did, and I lost, and then I was like, "Well, dude, now I really want to fight heavyweight again, just so I can prove that I can win here," and now I've stayed at heavyweight. I like it up here.
And it's funny, Matt, that's exactly the question I was going to ask about the jump from middleweight up to light heavyweight. Because you look at a guy like John Jones, who has been talking about jumping up and getting bigger. And he has spent, I want to say it's a year and a half or 2 years. Like he's had some other outside shit happen. But at one point he said that he wasn't ready to come up because he just didn't feel like he was big enough. And what do you think about you made it so much easier? Are you just a naturally bigger guy than him? Or because it seems like it's a pretty comfortable fit for you.
Yeah, I mean, I've naturally was always a big guy. That's why I got into MMA, is because I was actually doing it to lose weight because I was such a big kid, growing up. And I think with John moving up with weight, he's really trying to just pack on pure straight muscle like me. Now I'm pretty naturally a big guy, so I mean that I put on a little bit of fat, obviously, also, but I don't know. I just wanted to fight. I wanted to get back in there because I was off for a little bit, and it's working out. I enjoy it. I like heavyweight. So
Jake, so where for the audience that doesn't know you, where are you from, and what style did you start with the martial arts?
I'm originally grew up in Cuba, Missouri, very small little town, and I actually started doing jiu-jitsu with a buddy. That's what got me into it, and I went to my first jiu-jitsu tournament, and I think I won one match. And this amateur MMA promoter was like, "You ever thought about fighting?" And I was like, "Sure." And I fought like the next month, and here we are.
How old were you?
33.
No. How old were you when that happened? When you started?
I was 20, 21.
Oh wow.
Yeah, what were you doing before then? And what did you think you were going to wind up doing with your life before you knew you were going to fight?
Weld for the rest of my life. That's what I always done. I've welded my whole life, so that's why I figured I'd just be some guy that welded in a factory for the rest of his life.
Wow, isn't it crazy when you look at it? Like, do you ever stop and look and go, "Geez, I thought I would be doing this thing, that's a good living, but not obviously a dream." And are you ever like just amazed at how things turned out and how weird life can be, right?
Absolutely. I never even thought I'd ever leave the state of Missouri. Now I've been all over the world.
Man, shit. Hey, you were recently on the MMA Roasted podcast with Adam Hunter. How was that?
Yeah, that guy's awesome. He cracked me up, man. He's a pretty good, funny guy.
He's doing a UFC night, comedy night again. He asked me to do it. I respectfully declined, but it's gonna be. I think Frankie Edgar's doing it. Some other guys are doing it. Do you ever see yourself doing something like that? If he helped write the jokes and stuff like that, or is that?
Yeah, I mean, I do something like that. I try to be an outgoing, laughable guy anyway, so I wouldn't be too bad with it.
Yeah, you laid back.
Where is he doing this, Matt? I didn't know Adam was doing another one.
I'm not sure where he's doing it. I'll tell you right now.
It's just fighters going up and doing stand-up or trying some jokes.
No, I don't think they're trying. I think from what he told me, I think he's going to be writing it a lot. Let me see what he said. What's his Adam Hunter?
Yeah. What's his podcast like, Jake? Were you guys? Was it an interview, or were you? Was there a specific topic, or was it just MMA in general?
It was kind of MMA in general and life. Kind of joking around and talking about stuff. It didn't seem like too serious of an interview, but
right. So when you were growing up, you're a big dude. A lot of fighters get into it because they fought a lot growing up, or they got bullied. Did you fight at all growing up, or what was your inclination besides weight loss? Did you have any type of fighting that you did as a kid, or in the street, or in your neighborhood?
I think I got in like one high school fight ever before I fought in a cage. Never really. I don't know, man. I was always kind of like the chill guy. I never really was like the violent dude to go fight everybody. I was always the big guy, so everybody never really tried to mess with me. But for the most part, no, I never really was that guy. I never played a sport, never wrestled, never did anything.
That's crazy.
Is that crazy?
I mean, Sports are not for everybody, but you're a big guy. You think they probably want you like on the football or wrestling team?
I broke a lot of bones as a kid. I mean, I swear, my right arm was in a cast for years because seemed like every time I get out of a cast, I'd break my arm again or something.
What were you doing? Were you like 4x4ing, or what were you doing?
Being an idiot kid. 4-wheelers, broke my pelvis doing that one time. That was not fun.
What did you fall out of it, or was it when it came down you smashed on top of it?
I fell off it doing like 60. Like part of the road was rutted out and bike hit, and when it did, it bucked me off.
Oh,
yeah, that hurt.
Any of that stuff creeped up while you were fighting, like in training camps or anything? Any of those old injuries come back and haunted you?
Not yet. Everybody says, the arthritis eventually will come, but nothing yet so far, luckily.
That's amazing. I'm sorry, Matt. It's amazing to me that as a guy who didn't fight, were you surprised that you had this in you? Like the ability to do this as well as you do it. Were you shocked that that was in there? Because I mean, that's something that you really, that ability to fight that way, or that instinct to do it, or that aggression, I think somebody kind of has to have.
I mean, we kind of grew up with a little bit of nothing, so everything I have, like, we had to work our asses off to get, like, so I felt like I always had the work ethic, but I mean, like the violence or anger or anything like that, I mean, I don't know. I watched WWE wrestling when I was a kid. Maybe that turned me into what I am. I don't know, man.
That's wild that you found this path. You know what I mean? All from just doing a jiu-jitsu tournament, and was it a promoter that asked you if you want to fight?
Yeah, he promoted the amateur show. Yeah,
that fucking guy got an eye for talent. Shit, who the fuck is that guy? Move over, Mick Maynard. Who's that guy? Oh, by the way, that next day for that UFC Comedy Jam is Thursday, May 19th.
Oh, it's coming up. Okay.
At the Strat in Las Vegas. He's like, you would do a 7 or 8 minute total, and he would help me. And this and that. So I don't know. So I'm sure he's helping people do it.
Yeah.
But the next one, I think Frankie Edgar is in there. I like to see these guys. You know why? Fighters, I know this is why fighters are going to try to do it. Because fighters like to get that adrenaline and that fucking nervous pit in the stomach feeling. And when I did that looking for a fight shit, I did a lot of wacky shit. But when I tried to stand up comedy that one time, I'll tell you right now, that and the bull riding were the two most pit in the stomach things I ever did. Yeah, believe it or not, Jake, going on a bull and going on a stage in front of people, those were the two things that were like, ugh. And I swam with sharks and shit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Jimmy, you're braver than all of us.
No, I just do what I do because I can't do what you do. Believe me, if I had the fucking ability to choke out Chase Sherman, I'd never tell another joke in my life. Hey, how did it feel to get that first sub win? Like, was it something you had planned, or did the opportunity just present itself and you're like, let me see if I can flatten him out and get this?
Yeah, I mean, I told my wrestling coach before the fight had started, if he starts throwing sloppy kicks, I am going to take him down and try to beat him up. I didn't think I was going to catch him with a submission. It was just kind of one of those things that the opportunity was there, might as well take it.
And he's fighting. Oh, sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
They say the same thing as me. He's fighting Arlovski.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I've been on cards with him fucking 15 years ago, literally. 20 years ago, I was on a card with him. No shit, UFC 33. So it's like, talk about a pioneer and a legend in the game. Does that make any difference going in there? Because, Chase Sherman's a name, but fuck, Andrei Arlovski, that he's up there.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost one of those things. Obviously, I'm going to go out there and I want to win, but it's almost like one of those occasions where it's like, well, if I lost, I still fought Andrei Arlovski. I've been watching that guy since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And now I get to fight him, and he's still got it, man. He's moving well. He's on a 3-fight win streak. His stand-up's great. He's fighting long. He's not staying in brawls. He's looking good.
Yeah, shit.
And he's Andrei Arlovski,
And it's Andrei Arlovski. How good he looks at what is he, 43 now, 42? I mean, it's amazing that a lot of guys are going longer now, which I'm guessing is things like better regimens when you guys get hurt, and better training, and all this stuff that's just allowing people to live longer in the game. But Arlovski is incredible to be doing it at heavyweight at his age, as well as he's still doing it. I mean, he's got to be encouraging everyone in that fucking in the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wish I looked as good as him at 33. I mean, the guy looks in phenomenal shape. He's always ready to go, you know?
Hey, Nick, what do you like to do when you're not training, man? Give us something on without not training related, a hobby, whether it's your books you're reading, movies you're watching, a series you're watching, video games you're playing. What do you like to do to unwind?
Yeah, I build a lot of cars, man. I like working on cars. So that's what I do. For my last training, training for Arlovski, my off day was on Sundays. So every Sunday I would go start working on I got a 1970 short bed Ford I've been building. So I was kind of like just like my downtime and relaxation time.
How did you learn about cars? I know this sounds very simple question.
My dad. I grew up building cars with my dad.
I swear to God, I feel like throwing my dad in a Kimura. He doesn't know shit. He taught me how to fight. He's like me. He's like me because, you know, I don't know. I don't think he knows a lot about cars. And I remember in high school, I'm like, all right, I'm going to I'm going to be in the auto class, whatever the fuck you call that, auto shop. So like, all right, now I'm going to learn all about it. Clean slate. I'll understand about, dude, I'm watching that thing and the guy's explaining, I'll go do it. I go, everybody's doing it. I go, did I just hear the same thing? Because I don't know what the fuck he's talking. Dude, I might just be a moron, Jake. Breaking news. I'm a fucking moron. Thank God they made fighting a sport, Jake, right? Dude, right. A factory working on cars. I don't fucking know, Jimmy.
Well, that's another thing I can't do is the idea, like I had a flat tire probably about 6 months ago. And if I don't call AAA, like I can't change a flat. Like cars to me are this overwhelming thing that I can't conquer. So anybody who can just look at a car and go, yeah, I can get in there and take that engine out. I'm fascinated with Chuck Zito. You ever look at Chuck Zito's Instagram? The fucking, all he does is take out engines and rebuild them. It's just, it's incomprehensible to me how you do that.
I always grew up just working on cars my whole life. And I kind of look back now because, of course, you know how it is when somebody's car in my family's broke down. It's like, well, just call Jake. He knows how to fix it. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, you know. It's like I'm glad I know the knowledge, but I also am always the one that has to fix all the crap.
Yeah. And do you feel any additional pressure being co-main? Is there any additional pressure at all to you? Like are you thinking of that?
Oh no, absolutely not. No.
Is no difference in the amount of press? Sometimes guys get annoyed because they're doing more press when they're the main or co-main.
Yeah, definitely way more press. I've done more interviews for this fight than I think I have my whole career. So
I don't think anybody, the mind games and this and that, I don't think anybody's gonna be. It's hard to ruffle Jake's feathers. I think he looks very just even keel. He's just very. Somebody cuts you off in traffic. I bet you they curse you. I bet you're probably like, all right. I can't see you getting mad.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really get too pissed off normally. It takes a lot to make me mad.
It's got to be nice to know though that if you do get cut off and you do give somebody the finger, like if you step out of the car, they're going to realize they've made a grave error. That's got to be a nice feeling.
Yeah, that's happened too. Actually, people trying to be tough guys, and then they see out my size, and they're like, "All right, never mind."
Oh, do they always back off?
For the most part, I feel like, people after they see my size, they don't go much further.
Well, don't you also have a lot of big guys have to deal with guys my size who want to prove something? Like, a guy who's 5'6" or 5'7" who wants to prove he's not a pussy. And then you have to deal with that fucking shit too.
Yeah, that's the best. Or the guys that were going to be fighters. But man, I had like a job and I had a kid. I couldn't make time for it. Those guys are my favorite too.
Oh yeah, always an excuse as to why they didn't do it and why they should be where you are.
Yeah, I have 3 sons and a wife and a mortgage. Yeah, I worked pretty much my whole UFC career till here recently, a full-time job. So
oh, you did.
I know what it's about. Yeah.
So what would you do? I'm also amazed at that as guys who can work 8 hours and then go and train. I mean, I sleep so bad. Even when I took a little kickboxing, I sucked at getting there. And you just would go after work or early in the morning before work?
After work every day. We train from like 6 to 8, and then I drive my hour home.
Oh,
get up, do it
again. Well, this is huge opportunity. Co-main event.
Yeah.
If the world doesn't know you, they will know you after this, Jake.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. It's a big opportunity. I'm happy. I'm excited.
Yeah, good luck against Arlovski. And again, congrats on that last win over Chase. That was a really, really good win. And this is a high-profile fight. And I'm sure we'll talk to you again, man. Have a great fight on Saturday, and good luck.
Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
That was a great win, watching him flatten out. And I like Chase Sherman a lot too, but Jake Collier is a fun guy to watch.
I think he's like affable.
Yes, he is.
You know, he's like a big huggable guy. Like you want to see him, you want to go, come here.
No, I don't want to hug him. He wouldn't like that.
Maybe I'm a huggable guy.
Yeah, you are.
I'm like, come on, come here, come on.
Let me ask you a question, Matt. They're talking, obviously, Zhang Weili and Jacek has been rescheduled. The second fight has been for 275, not rescheduled, but scheduled for 275, the rematch. And Ngannou said he won't resign unless there's a Tyson Fury fight that's part of the deal. And I get the appeal of it for the money, and I would want to see Francis win it. But a guy like Tyson Fury, who did nothing but box, if you take away the weapons of an MMA fighter, which is holding him up against the cage, grabbing him, maybe throwing him down, grinding up against the fence, all this stuff that you can't do in your boxing, because as soon as you clinch, the ref comes in and breaks you up. If you're getting to a guy, he's just got to grab you, and then the ref will break you up and separate you. I think that's going to be a tough night for Francis. And I love him. I don't think that's a knock on his talent. It's just Tyson Fury has done nothing but fight guys at heavyweight.
But are you talking about them having a boxing match? Or
Yeah. With kind of amended rules. Like I'm sure it's boxing rules with small gloves. And it might even be in an MMA cage. I'm not sure where they would do it. But if you're just using boxing rules with clinching, especially, because Francis isn't a huge wrestler. I mean, but that really works against Francis.
If they do a fucking stand-up match, I think. I mean, you got to understand. Francis, is powerful, but chances are, with just using your two fucking putting up your dukes, I think that the Gypsy King is gonna be too much with just his hand.
Because that's all he's done is win with his hands.
That's all, man. I mean, listen, what do you call it? Had to pull out some grappling in his last fight versus Cyril Gane. He did not win that fight. Cyril Gane lost that fight. That's the difference. Cyril Gane was on his way to winning, and then he laid down with a leg, and he lost that last round, and he gave the fight away. That's just what it is.
That is true, yeah.
That last round wasn't, wow, he pulled it out by making this correction. No, he won because the other guy fucked up.
Yeah.
He laid down if he didn't lay down with that leg, he wins. He's the new champ. I
think Francis was also hurt, though. I think he had a bad leg going in, a bad knee that he didn't talk about. It's not an excuse, but I just think it's a fact that he was hurt. And I would take Francis again in a rematch.
I would.
I would take him sooner.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Again, Cyril Gane's great, but it seemed like he was not at all interested in slugging it out with Francis.
Well, listen.
I don't blame him.
I think he was fighting great.
Yeah, he's very smart. He's definitely fighting smart.
Yeah, until that last round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, we didn't talk to Chito Vera in a while.
No, it was June of 21, I think. So again, almost a year. I want to say 10 months. And, he's fighting Rob Font in the main event. And it was just an incredible fight. And I rewatched that Frankie Edgar fight, which was, people probably 1-1 going into the third. And Frankie looked good in that last round. Frankie looked really good in that last round. I could not pick who was ahead in round 3. And then he planted that Anderson Silva looking kick on Frankie's chin. Really great.
Yeah, great for him.
Yeah. It was just, and I'm sure Frankie would acknowledge that was a perfectly placed kick, and he had been working his way up the body with that kick. And I would like to see a rematch against Sugar Shane O'Malley too. I would love to see that.
You won't post the photo of the moment of the kick, calling it fucked up. How do photos like maybe you think, what the fuck is this question? Your last fight ended with a front kick.
He wouldn't post I'm guessing he wouldn't post the photo of his foot hitting Frankie's face because he thought it was like fucked up.
Yeah, they could freeze frame anything and make it look fucking.
Oh yeah. But I think he probably just doesn't. I'm guessing it's a respect thing for Frankie. He doesn't want it to look like he's trying to make Frankie look bad. That's my guess.
I get you. I get you. Hey, you want to talk about some of the fights while we're waiting? Let's do it.
Sure.
Man, oh, Marlon's ready to go. Forget that. Let's get Marlon in here. Chito Vera. Look at him. He looks ready to fucking go. Yeah, Chito, what's up, man?
I'm fucking happy to be here. I'm excited.
Dude, you look like you're glowing, bro. You look good. How's things?
Life's good, man. I'm healthy. I'm ready to go, and I cannot wait till that beautiful chaos on Saturday night.
Yeah, you're predicting that you're going to stop the fight. You don't think it's going to go the distance.
Well, I always want to finish fights. You know, I'm not a guy that forces finishes or try too hard, but you know, my goal is to hurt you. You know, I'm not here to play fighting. I want to get in there and just fight hard, you know, and I'm always expecting a finish because how I train, my work ethic, and how ready I am. But if we go to 25 minutes, I don't mind it. I'm just ready to go. That's all.
The Edgar fight, you had we were just talking about that kick at the end, towards the end of the third round. And I think a lot of people, it looked like it was 1-1 going into that third round. It was a very close third round. I thought you looked really good. I thought Frankie looked really good. And that was a great way to finish that fight, because you never want to leave one like that going to the judges.
Especially, you know, in his hometown with, you know, I'm pretty sure the whole commission know who he is and everything. And I've been robbed before pretty bad. So I just know if I have time on the clock, I have chances to finish you. I have chances to bounce back, and I have chances to adjust. It's like anything in life, you know. If you're alive, you have a chance to try. Keep trying in life. So I'm just a fighter at heart, and I will find a way.
So you have to like that you have 5 rounds as opposed to 3 to work. Right?
I love it. I had 1 5-rounder back in the day when I fought for a belt in Mexico. He only lost 1 round, but I was excited. I was like, okay, now I have time to fight, because sometimes 5 minutes is not enough time, you know, and you know, it can go either way. You know, 5 minutes can be a long night for you, but also can be very short sometimes. And you know, I'm just prepared. I train year round. I'm healthy. I'm always trying to evolve, to add new tools, to polish the basics. And you know, if I have more time in the clock, it's just better for me. It's just more time, and I'm glad I got to that point in my career now. You know, once you fight a main event, you will get more.
In that fight against Frankie, I think you had come up the body a few times with that kick. You had kicked to the body. Were you looking for that face? Was there something you saw in what he was doing that said, "I think I can get the face," or did that moment just open it up for you and you did it?
I just like to be consistent with the ball. You know, I think the more you throw, the more chances you have, and I feel very comfy with my defense. I feel I'm a very aware guy. I don't lose my mind in there and just start throwing blow for blow. And you know, I just throw it as hard as I can sometimes. And you know, you just need to touch him. We have 4 ounces gloves, you know, so I don't like to get too methodic with things. You know, a fight is a fight. You gotta go and fight your ass off. So I just threw it really hard, and I catch him. You know, good eyes. That's good.
Talk about the fighting in a main event, the 5 rounds. This will be Font's 3rd straight main event fight. Does it concern you at all with that experience he has with these 5-round fights?
I got 19 fights in the UFC, and then I feel I've been fighting top guys for a while now. So he's just one more top guy I'm fighting, and I'm here to take his spot. I'm here to take his head off. So, you know, I want to be number 5. I worked so hard for this that right now when I'm looking back, I say I did everything possible to win this fight. I've been consistent since my last fight. I've been doing everything. So my only concern always is myself. It's me versus me. I want to be better than my last fight. I want to be in a better condition, and I want to push myself more. So whoever is in front of me is just a partner to dance. The rest is just on me. I put the work on. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna kick his ass.
How's Jason Parillo? You still working with him?
Oh yeah, he's a man. We're working so hard since last fight. We will keep getting better, and just keep adding. Keep getting on the ground game, keep getting better at my wrestling, and overall, like I'm just making sure I'm ready all the time.
Doing a 5-round fight, because both of Rob's last fights have been 5, and they've both gone the distance, 1 win, 1 loss. Is it going to change the way you approach the pacing of a fight? Because obviously you've done, and you're obviously in condition to do 5 rounds, but is it going to change the way you approach it? Like maybe with Frankie, the way you fought in that 3rd round, you put out more energy than you would have if you had 5 rounds, or how are you looking at that?
I just feel, I just feel my lungs can go, so I can start hard and finish hard, or I can also pick him apart and take my time. I feel I can fight both ways. I can put mad pressure going forward, but also I feel like I can take it for a walk, and I can move. I can use my feet and go side to side, trying to figure it out. So, and the training camp, you do it different. When you fight a 3-rounder, you fight really hard for 3 rounds, and then you have to know if you win or you lose. And then when you have a 5-rounder, this whole camp has been 5 rounds, 5 rounds of everything, of boxing, of MMA sparring, And then of course my running remains pretty similar. I'm running long distance. I'm doing a lot of sprints, so I feel good to go. I feel for 25 minutes I can go to hell and back and I'll be fine.
What part of training do you hate the most? Is there something in training that you dislike more than anything?
I love to be active. I love to go to the gym. I go with a smile on my face because that's my job. That's what I dreamed to do when I was a kid. The only thing that I always say like makes no sense and is pretty stupid is kind of like the weight cut. And I get it, there's some people that will say like, okay, yeah, don't cut weight, go to the weight class up. But I'm like, yeah, it makes no sense. I'm fighting guys that are cutting 30, 40 pounds more than the 35 or so. I will hope, I know this probably will never happen, so happy to do my job and make the weight. But I'm like, I just hope one day we can just weigh in right before we step in the cage and you just fight at your natural weight class. And if you're a fat fuck and you're out of shape, that's on you. I'm an athlete, so I'm an athlete year round. I don't train when I have a fight. I train because this is my job. I eat correctly because I'm an athlete, and I do my part. So it's the only thing about MMA that I'm like is dumb. It's kind of cheating. If you cut a lot of weight, I think you're a big pussy, but that's on you.
I'm always fascinated. I always think it'd be a little bit easier to fight closer to natural weight, but then again, you might be fighting, like you said, bigger guys who are cutting a lot more weight than you are. But some people think that the depleting and the weight cut is worse for you than actually just fighting at your natural. Well, you know what I mean? Like it's worse to cut the weight because you go in tired or you go in, not your best.
My dream will be to step in the scale and fight at 155 against anybody in the world, but weigh in right 10 seconds before you actually fight. That would be best scenario. But it's not gonna happen because I know most people is 40, 50 pounds overweight normally. Most people that I know it is like that, because I think most athletes, they think they just know how to cut away. They cut away and then they eat junk for 3 months and then they go into camp. I don't do that. I believe I live a better life. I feel healthier. I feel good. That's why I make the cut to 135, because even for 45, I'll be pretty small. So it usually is what it is. That's just one part when we say about what you don't like about the game. I'm like, I'm a fighter. Why we have to cut weight? I want to fight. But I do it and I got it dialed in. I try to do it as the most healthy possible, but it's just like, come on, let's just fight.
Let me ask you, do you get annoyed when people bring up, what about a rematch with O'Malley and this and that? I mean, you beat him, but because people, I don't know, some people almost like you didn't beat him. I mean, I know you beat him. People, the guys who know you beat him, but yet they're like, oh, what about that rematch? It's almost as if like it was like tainted somehow. Like, what do you think about that?
Honestly, I don't really waste my energy on what people say. I'm not I'm not a person that is reading comments and trying to dig for like who's saying you're the best or who's saying fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. You know, I'm not scrolling down social media. I'm not living that shitty life. Like I'm just like trying to see what people say about me. Like people say fucked up shit. People say nice shit. I don't fucking care. I only care about the people I love what they say, and I keep myself around real people that if you know if I'm not doing right, they will tell me in my face, hey, fuck you. So and if I doing well, they tell me to keep it up. So I'm really not into what fucking people say. Like, for example, most of the people that will put comments like that is people that will never achieve nothing in life.
Yeah.
So, first of all, they can go and suck dick. Second, I don't have time for them. You know what I'm saying? I achieve things in life. I'm doing my thing. So, if you are a badass and you tell me something, I take it as an advice. If you're somebody that succeed in life and you say something to me, I listen to that. If you're a random cook, I, doesn't matter.
And you know they're not saying anything that they would never say it to you. Guys that are saying that shit in comments would never say it to you if you were standing there.
Of course not.
And if somebody said that to my face, I told this 100 times before. I won't insult you if we're face to face. I'm gonna fight you. So I guess I keep it pretty real. That's why I believe people respect me, because I'm not here for the cloud. I'm not here for the hype. I don't hang out with nobody for who they are. I hang out with people for what's inside their heart and their mind. So that's all that matters to me. So people will always talk, good or bad. That's just noise. Fuck the noise.
Hey, it's still a really good feather to have in your cap, because the guy's got a big following, and it's nice that you have that win over him, because whenever that guy gets another win, they're always going to want to see that fight. So that's another potential big payday for you.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. The business side of it is great. So, and the UFC already offered us that fight, and I guess Homeboy declined it because they never called us back. So
Yeah.
I just keep it pretty honest with the UFC. They know I fight. They know I'm not trying to find an easy road or something like that. So if they call me for a fight, like they call me, you want to fight Rodfan? Yes. They call me, you want to fight Frank Edgar? Yes. They call me, you want to fight David Grant, which was below me, but he'll have a win over me back in the day, which no one really cared. I say yes to that. And probably the David Grant fight was the toughest fight for me out there, just because he has nothing to win, everything to lose, and that's a tough motherfucker. And guess what? I took it, prepared, went in there and kick his ass. So I'm not finding an easy road. There's no easy road for me. I like to achieve things and I like to earn things.
And Jimmy, he didn't say that. Don't go and write no comments about him now because he said to go suck a dick and you might want to suck a dick. He said that just for the guys. He said it negatively. Yes, negative. Yes. You might take that like, oh, I can suck a dick. And
no. I'm not randomly sucking some dick unless it's a good woman. Okay. Then perhaps, unless she's a nice lady.
Hey, he's gonna start talking shit on me, huh?
No, I don't comment on social media at all.
Ever.
But and I don't really read at mentions either for the same reason. Is I'm just not interested, because it's great when people say nice things, but when people are just being dicks, you know that they're just pretending to be somebody they're not online, and it's like this is their chance to be that person. So I just don't waste my time with it because it's annoying.
Hey, if I want to hear something good, I call my mother. God bless. The lady's a nice lady. She said good things to me. So if I want to hear something good, I call mom. I call grandma. I don't know. I'm really not into the social media. I prefer to go to the park with my kids. I don't know. I prefer to go surfing. I prefer to hang out with my friends and barbecue. I'm not into the fucking fake world trying to be cool. Fuck the noise. Fuck the noise for that.
Fuck all that noise. You got Chito's got it figured out. He trains hard. He loves his family. You know, if they're not with you, they're against you, man. You have enough friends, Chito Vera. Fuck everybody. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Fuck everybody.
Fuck dicks.
Not Sarah.
I'm with you, Chito.
Yeah. Well, you're a former world champion. You know what's up. You know you're not trying. You did it.
You're my man. I feel like it was yesterday. I was in that room with you and Jason Parillo, and he was baking cookies.
Oh, he cooks all fucking day.
They were some good fucking cookies. They were like,
I know. I think I'm gonna move out of the room because I'm like, Last night I wake up to pee and I was like, I hate you, coach.
Yeah, is he cooking healthy food or is it like fun, good, tasty food?
Like he was doing Italian, yes, he was doing pasta with bacon. Then he did a fat steak, and I'm like, come on, man, eat some salad for me. And he's a good cook too, so I just smell it for now.
Can you cook? I'm not patient enough to cook, but some fighters we talk to actually learn to cook and they cook their own meals and they say it's like relaxing and kind of cathartic.
I love to cook. I always tell my nutrition I'm like I want to become like a real chef. Like I love to cook and I love to cook for people. Like sometimes when I cook, I don't want to eat. I want people to tell me that was the best fucking meal. So I really put time in the kitchen. I like to cook for my wife. I like to cook for my friends. And every time I want to do something, I call my nutrition. I'm like, okay, how I do this, and then the lady's a pro, so she told me everything how to do it, and I really like to cook. I can cook all day.
What do you cook really well? Like what's something you make really well?
I can do a pretty good steak. I can do shrimp tacos pretty good. I learned how to make some salads with some good superfoods. I got a couple of things dialed in pretty good, but all the basics are dialed in at the moment. I can do a pretty decent pasta too. My kids love it.
It's a nice way to eat healthy too, because you know what's in it because you're putting it in. So you could probably eat what you want to eat without worrying about if it's got shit in there that shouldn't be in there.
100%. And that's what, like, honestly, in my house, we don't really go out to eat much. We just do a big meal for the kids. And sometimes I can tell my kids enjoy more a nice pass at home than go to a restaurant. So pretty much we go out if we want to actually do a little cheat meal, but we eat pretty good at home. The kids enjoy eating good food. My fucking son is gonna hate me when he find out I've been feeding him liver, telling him his ribeye.
He's probably getting powerful though.
Oh, the kid is healthy as fuck. Like they don't get sick. They play all day, and sometimes when I eat a lot of liver for the nutrients, I tell him, hey, you want some steak? And he said yes. And he's like, oh, it's pretty good. Yeah, I tell you. If I told him it's liver, he will say no, 100%. One day we'll find out. He's been eating liver his whole life.
Not a lot of guys are eating liver. I haven't had liver in ages. What you like liver?
I eat liver every week.
What is tell me about the nutrients with the liver?
Well, it's just got a lot of shit on it, more than a steak. It's like a steak on the steroids.
Really?
Now wait, let me ask you: is liver worse? Because I like liver worst on a sandwich. Is that totally different?
Fuck, maybe on a sandwich is way better than the way I eat it. I just eat it like the way it is with a little bit of salt and pepper, and that's it.
Liver.
Yeah, liverwurst is great. You kind of smear it with a knife or you cut it. It's great. Yeah.
Not the same thing.
No, it's not. I'm eating fattening shit and he's eating like healthy raw liver.
Does it taste good, the liver, where you make it? Does it taste good?
It's not very good, but I know it's for a good reason. Like my friends that hunt, like, everybody eats like the good stuff from the elk, and no one wants the liver. So my friends that they go for a hunting, they bring me like a fucking huge elk liver, and I finished it like in a couple of weeks.
Do you have to cut it up and take anything out of it, or do you just cut it up and cook it and eat it like it is?
If a friend kill it, it comes with a little bit of hair and a little bit of shit, so you gotta put it on. You gotta clean a little bit, but I just cut it and put it on packages, so it's just ready to eat one package instead of defrosting the whole thing and put it in the freezer again.
Oh yeah, I'm not cut out for that life. It sounds good and healthy, but I couldn't cut hair and shit off it or whatever's on the outside of it. I just couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, it comes with sometimes there's like a little bit of like grass and shit on it, so you just flip it off.
Yeah, no, I don't want grass. I tap out on that. Well, look, man, good luck. This is a great fight. And by the way, I know you never look past the guy you're fighting, but just what's an ideal fight for you if this one goes the way you want it to go? If you get a really strong early knockout win or whatever, what do you think happens for you next?
I really believe this put me in title contention. And an MMA it's crazy. So some people can be hurt, some people can get COVID, some people can just don't want to find the frame line, and they tell you like, hey, you want it, you take it. I always feel like one step at a time would take you a long way, but when I finish this guy, I'm right there. So I'm just excited about the next step, and I'm willing to fight anybody, and I know I'm just gonna bring it. I got the tools and I got the cardio to do anything I want.
You against Piotr Jan's a fight I would love to see. That's a fight I would love to see.
That's a fun fight, you know. He's everybody. The top 5 is in my radar, and everybody below that is in my radar because they're coming on top. They're coming in hot, so you can't forget about those motherfuckers. So everybody, 10 guys up, 10 guys down. We can go anytime.
They're all gonna get it, Chito. They're all gonna get it.
Yes, sir.
They're not eating fucking liver,
No.
right?
No. Not many people eat the way I eat.
Well, good luck on Saturday, man. It's always good talking to you. And, this is a great main event. And congrats on getting the main event, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Chito Vera. Yeah, him against Piotr Jan. What a fight is that, huh? How great of a fight would that be? Him against anybody is a good fight.
It's Rob Font this weekend.
Of course.
Rob Font's part of that fucking cartel.
Yes, he is.
You know what I mean? Those guys, they fucking mean business. People thought Calvin Kattar was done, and then he fought the tough Gigi and fucking came in with fucking elbows from fucking hell. I don't know. He looked fucking phenomenal his last fight.
Yeah.
So he learned and he bounced back. I want to see how Rob Font, if he takes a page out of his buddy Calvin Kattar's book, and how Calvin bounced back after the Max Holloway loss. Could he do a similar feat going after his loss versus Jose Aldo? I mean, this is his first time we're seeing him, and that might have been overwhelming for him. Let's see. This is a great fight. This is a great fucking fight, Rob.
Great fight. What do you think, Matt? We should do a couple of picks. What do you think?
Now, this is the thing. We don't know how he's going to bounce back, and I would like to think he's going to bounce back the same way as Calvin Kattar. I would. Marlon Vera is one of the most headstrong guys I think we've ever talked to.
Yeah.
He's he wasn't with that Sugar Sean O'Malley fight. He was not even fucking. His confidence wasn't wavering at all. He knew exactly what the fuck he was going to do. And I think it might come down to the attitude. It might come down to fucking who wants him more, who believes in him more. I don't know. I like both guys so much.
Yeah.
But I will say I'll go with Marlon on a decision.
I'm going to take Marlon, I say, in the third round. I think he gets it done in the third round.
Okay, third round. What do you think of Arlovski versus Jake Collier? That guy won me over, that Jake Collier. I think he won me over.
Yeah.
That guy.
I'm going to take Arlovski by decision. I think Arlovski, again, he's been fighting very, very smart, and I think he's such a veteran that he figures out. Oh, then again, hold on. I'm looking at 264, 246.
I'm taking Arlovski by decision.
I was going to.
Go ahead.
I take Jake Collier, second round stoppage.
Ooh, okay. Andre Fili versus Joy Anderson Brito. I'm going to take Andre Fili. He's due for a win.
Yeah, he is. I'll take him.
I'll take him. You know what? Is he getting him out of there though? These guys could take a beating. I don't want to do all decisions, but I'm going to take him by decision.
I'll take him by decision too, since I'm taking 2 other stoppages.
I'm taking Jared Gordon though.
Hold on a second. I just closed my window like an idiot. Hold on, buddy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, over Grant Dawson.
Grant Dawson's very tough though, so I'm going to take a decision. For Jared.
Mm,
Come on now.
I am going to take Dawson. I'm going to say that Dawson stops him second round.
How dare you?
He's a little longer. Yeah.
Man, shit. Listen, Darren
Elkins, Tristan Connolly. Yeah.
And now listen, man, he's due for a win. Darren Elkins. That guy's let's say he's due for a win, and I think he's gonna get it. And I think he's gonna get it by second round stoppage.
I'm gonna give him a first round stoppage over Connolly.
Oh, here we go. Christoph Chaco versus Gerald Meerschaert. Now listen, I'm going to say Gerald Meerschaert, second round submission.
I say a third round submission by Meerschaert.
Okay. Jimmy,
Yes.
we had such a fun show. It's
Tonight
time to go. What?
By the way, I forgot tonight I'm going to be at the Fat Black Pussycat, which is around the corner, from the Comedy Cellar. I'll be there at 7 p.m. tonight, and I got coming up in Bridgeport, Connecticut, May 6th and 7th. So come see me if you wish. If you don't, I don't blame you.
Jimmy. Oh, that's so great, Jimmy. Well, Jimmy, listen, man. If I told you I didn't have fun, I'd be lying.
Good.
I had a good time. I did.
Thank you. Me too, buddy.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Tell Dean I said hello. I'd love to see him.
Yeah, man. I'm going to be hanging out with Dean Thomas and Meatball fucking McCann.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, we'll text over the weekend. We always do.
Yep.
I miss you so much.
I miss you, pal.
Hey, listen. I got nothing else to say besides I'm on Cameo and I like to have a good time. I will see you soon, my little bird.
Yeah, let's have dinner soon, man. It'd be good to come out and see you for dinner.
I would love to. Hey, you tell me. I'm always available.
Okay, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
Later, Jimmy.